You are required to answer the question.
Well, I don't think he needs to identify if he hasn't committed a crime.
It doesn't matter. If I ask him to identify himself, he needs to identify himself. I could arrest you if I wanted to.
I don't think that's an arrestable offense.
Yes, it is. I can have this vehicle towed, and you can be arrested.
This officer pulled over a man for speeding and quickly demanded his license and insurance, which the driver calmly provided. But instead of focusing on the stop, the officer turned to the passenger and asked for his ID. When the passenger asked, "Did I commit a crime?" the officer said no, yet still kept pushing for ID. He even threatened the driver, falsely claiming that speeding and expired registration were arrestable offenses. And to top it off, he tried to paint them as uncooperative in front of the supervisor, just to make himself look justified.
How we doing, sir?
Fine.
Deputy Kelly, DeWitt County Sheriff's Office. Reason for your stop is your speed. You know about how fast you were traveling?
Do I know how fast I was traveling?
Yeah.
Do I need to answer that question?
I would like for you to.
Yeah, well, I would like not to make any statements.
Okay. Let me have your driver's license and insurance card. You have a ID on your driver's license?
Have I committed a crime?
I can ask you at any time to identify yourself.
Am I under suspicion of committing a crime?
No.
Yeah, Texas is not a stop and identify state.
Do you have a driver's license or identification on you?
Am I required to answer the question?
Yes, you are required to answer the question.
Well, I don't think he needs to identify if he hasn't committed a crime.
It doesn't matter. If I ask him to identify himself, he needs to identify himself.
It does matter. Just because an officer says you must show ID doesn't make it true. Under the Fourth Amendment, a passenger isn't legally required to provide ID unless the officer has reasonable suspicion of a crime. Sitting in a car isn't a crime, and since this state isn't a stop and identify state, the passenger had no legal obligation to comply. The officer's demand clearly violated his constitutional rights.
Are you familiar with Penal Code 3802?
Yeah,
What does it say?
very well.
What does it say?
Do you have an ID on your not?
You need to lawfully arrest him.
No, I don't have to lawfully arrest him. I don't have to. He's being detained on a traffic violation.
Yeah, he's not driving.
It doesn't matter. He's being detained at a traffic stop. I have the right to identify anybody in the vehicle.
Unless you suspect him of a crime. That's 3802.
That's what I'm gonna do, is see if he has any warrants or anything for his arrest.
Well, you suspect him of having any warrants?
Could be, yeah.
Well, you have to articulate your reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime.
You're breaking the law twice.
Well, you're talking to me then.
Yeah. Okay. He's a passenger in a vehicle that the law's being broke in. Okay. You were speeding, number one. Number two, you're
Allegedly speeding.
Allegedly speeding.
Allegedly.
80,
that's your allegation.
84 and a 70 is not allegedly.
That's your allegation. I haven't been convicted of that.
Your registration is out on your vehicle, so I could arrest you if I wanted to.
I don't think that's an arrestable offense.
Yes, it is. The only two non-arrestable offenses: speeding and open container. Which you have a speeding violation, and you don't have an open container, but you do have expired registration. Okay. I can have this vehicle towed, and you can be arrested.
To be towed, I have to be convicted of the crime.
You are convicted. You're driving a vehicle.
I haven't been to court.
You're being okay.
Yeah.
No, you can't arrest someone just for speeding or expired registration. These are minor infractions, not crimes. Under the Fourth Amendment, arresting someone without a serious offense or valid warrant is unlawful. Officers need more than a traffic violation to justify an arrest.
Do you have an ID on you or not?
Am I required to give it to you?
You are required to give it.
Do you have a supervisor?
I sure do.
Okay, we would like to talk to him.
Okay, I will let you talk to him, and if I have to, I'll have him come out here.
Okay? Yeah, I'm requesting a supervisor.
Okay, all right, good deal.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
I pulled this guy over 84 and a 70 on 119. I asked him for his driver's license and insurance, and of course are you aware of penal code, yada yada, all this and that. Well, he's got expired registration on the vehicle. Asked the passenger for his identification. He wouldn't give me his identification at all. He's asking for a supervisor to make location.
They're asking for a supervisor to make location on a traffic stop?
Yes.
Where are they from?
San Antonio. I told him, that he's in violation of the law. because he was speeding. He said, no, I was allegedly speeding. And I said, well, you also have expired registration. And he said that that he hasn't been convicted of that, so there's nothing I can do about it.
Are they
and
like
I have no idea. It's two Hispanic gentlemen.
two Hispanics?
Yeah, I told him, he could be arrested for the registration, and the vehicle could be towed. And he sat and argued with me and said, no, I can't do that, and that I need to have. He's requesting a supervisor to make location.
Okay. Let me call Chief, tell him what's going on, and then I'll call you back.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, you there?
Yeah.
Okay. The guys are not IDing, and he's refusing to cooperate with Requested. That's correct?
What is going on is the driver. I went up, I introduced myself, this Deputy Kelly, blah blah blah, and I asked him for his license and insurance, and he handed me his license. He hadn't handed me his insurance yet, and then I asked the passenger. I said, can I see your? Do you have an ID, or can I get your name and date of birth? And he goes, have I committed a crime, or am I suspicious of committing a crime? And I said, no. I said, but we check everybody that, we have the right to check anybody in the vehicle to, just to see if, to identify yourself, number one, see if you have any, if there's any issues or whatever, warrants or whatever. And he said, but have I committed a crime? And then the guy said, well, you're aware of penal code such and such and such? And I said, yes, sir, I am.
He clearly wasn't familiar with Texas Penal Code 3802, because if he was, he'd know a passenger isn't required to show ID unless they're lawfully arrested for a crime. And while explaining the stop to the other officer, he fumbled through the story, trying to paint the passenger as uncooperative, just to justify his own actions.
And he said, well, you need to read over that, a little bit better or something. And I said, well, you also have committed a violation with expired registration. And I said, so you guys are being detained on a traffic violation, and that's why I'm asking for, identification from both of you. And he goes to say, I'm alleged, you're alleging, I haven't been convicted of the speeding violation. I said, but you do, have expired registration. He said, but the passenger's not. He's not driving the vehicle. Why do you need his identification? And I explained it to him again. He goes, well, I need your supervisor to come out here.
Well, supervisors are off, and
Yeah.
she said, I'm not coming out.
Okay.
Get Mr. D or Brandon out there with you.
Uh-huh.
Chief said, because at the time, I got the two mixed up. I thought you said the guy hadn't provided the ID.
The driver gave me his identification. I ran him and he's clear.
Okay.
But there, he's being the passenger's not cooperating. They're driving 84 miles an hour in a 70 mile an hour zone.
1216 status.
Hang on one second. 1216. Everything's okay. Can you have 1208 make my location, please?
36 County 1208.
So, but the passenger's not cooperating.
Okay. Well, the passenger technically, we can request, but he doesn't have to.
Sure.
Okay. Tell the guy you're going to be cited for this and this. If he refuses to sign, tell him, okay, then you got to go before a magistrate. You're under arrest.
Okay. So if he refuses to sign the citation, then arrest him.
Right. And tow the vehicle and give the passenger a ride back to the office and let him sit there.
Okay. All right.
So tell him, you're waiting. You're still waiting on supervisors or whatever you want to do.
Okay.
But how far out is Maze from you?
He's in Cuero,
Okay. Where's Diaz at?
Myersville.
He's actually probably closer.
Yeah. Well, he's on his way.
Okay.
So.
But yeah, tell him you been on the phone with supervisors. There's no supervisors on duty at this time and stuff. Make sure your cameras are all rolling good.
Yeah.
Telling, that we have the alleged speed, or the speed. We have expired registration.
Yeah.
Okay, is his insurance good on the vehicle?
I don't know. I hadn't got his insurance card, and I just got got on the phone with you.
Right. Well, ask dispatch on the radio if they can confirm his insurance.
Okay. 1216 County. Can you confirm insurance on that vehicle?
1216 insurance is confirmed, expires May 16, 2018.
Receive.
Okay, you there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Chief agreed with me, because that was him calling. If he refuses to sign the ticket, hook him up, do PC affidavits on him. You can use the speed and the expired registration to make sure you get good pictures.
Okay.
Take him in, tow the vehicle, have the passenger ride with Diaz to the office.
Okay.
And sit at the office until he can get somebody there to pick him up.
Okay.
Because, if they refuse to sign, which is a promise to appear, we got to take them in and get them magistrated right away.
Okay. Now, I thought that if you were asked to identify yourself, you had to.
Only if it's in commission of a crime or an investigation.
Okay.
Because he's just sitting there as a passenger, he doesn't have to.
Okay. All right.
Now, if you go to tow the vehicle and the guy says, well, we're related to him, well, I can't because he won't identify himself, so I don't know who he is and if he's got a valid eligible driver's license.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. Good deal.
All right, call me back if you need to.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
All right, this is what's going on. I pulled these guys over 84 and a 70. Approached the vehicle, introduced myself, told him, so he handed me his ID. He never gave me his insurance card. So I asked the passenger, hey, do you have any identification on you, or can I get your name and date of birth? And he kind of sits back in the corner and is like, am I committed of a crime? And I was like, no, sir, you're not at this time, but we do check everybody in the vehicle to make sure they don't have any local warrants or anything. And, he said, well, do I have to? I said, well, I'm asking you to identify yourself. Can you identify yourself? And then this guy, the driver, are you familiar with Penal Code 36, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
He said 36 instead of 38, proving he didn't even remember which code the driver mentioned. Earlier, he claimed he was familiar with it, but clearly he wasn't. He just wanted to assert control and act like he knew the law, while trying to enforce something he didn't even understand himself.
And then I noticed that the registration's out. So, I tell him, the kid kept arguing with me saying, well, I'm not, under arrest, or I'm not, suspected of any crime, so I don't need to identify myself. I said, well, actually, sir, you're in violation. You're with 2 violations. I said, one for speeding. He said, allegedly speeding. He said, I haven't been committed to that yet. And I said, you're driving a vehicle with expired registration, which is an arrestable offense, so I could arrest you for it. And he goes, no, that's not an arrestable offense. And I said, yes, sir, it actually is. I said, the only 2 non-arrestable offenses are speeding and open container. Well, he kept arguing with me, blah, blah, blah.
Is it prior law enforcement?
I don't know. I want to speak to your supervisor. Can you have him come out on location? So I called Carver, told him what was going on. And he told me to have one of y'all make location. And if the guy refuses to sign the ticket, he said arrest him. And since the other guy didn't identify himself, tow the vehicle and have that guy take him back to the office and just let him sit there until he gets a ride.
As far as the passenger, now, if there is, my understanding is, if there is no, they are not crime.
True.
To identify themselves.
True. That is true. It is true.
As far as the passenger.
Yeah. He doesn't have to identify himself. I'm just gonna go up there and say, look, you're gonna get a citation for this. If he refuses to sign it, then he said put one of them in your car and one of them in mine and haul them in.
Yeah, because you told him that by signing it is because of promise.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, sir. I need you to sign here across the top. It's not an admission of guilt, just stating you'll contact the court on or before the 22nd of February.
All right. Here's a quick question. What happens if I don't sign it?
Well, you're refusing to sign, you'll go to jail.
I go to jail?
Yeah.
So, okay, so what I'm just trying to get across, my signature is not going to be voluntary. It's going to be on the
But
threat.
it's just a promise that you're going to contact the court. That's what your signature is
That's
promising.
Right, but my signature is not voluntary. I'm doing it because if not, you're taking me to jail.
Okay.
That's the only way.
Well,
that's the only reason I'm signing this.
Okay. You're signing saying that you're going to go to court on or before this date. That's what your signature. Regardless if you want to sign it or not.
Okay.
That's what that signature is for.
Yeah, just for the record, my signature is not voluntary, and I'm signing this because if I don't sign, you take me to jail.
Okay.
That's what you said.
What you're doing when you sign that is you're promising that you're going to go to court.
Yes.
Regardless if you volunteered or not.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I'm saying my signature is not voluntary. My signature says I'm gonna go to court.
Yes.
But my signature is not voluntary.
That doesn't make any. I don't understand what you're saying.
What I'm trying to say is you're making me sign it because if no, I go to jail.
No, I'm asking you to sign it. It's up to you whether you want to sign it or not.
It's under. It's under threat, duress, and coercion. I mean, if I don't sign it, I go to jail. That's the only reason.
Well, if
I'm
you don't
signing
go to court, you go to jail.
Yeah. But right now, if I don't sign, I go to jail right now.
Yeah, so basically all this is saying is you're going to go to court. If you don't go to court, then you get a warrant and you go to jail.
Sir, you're hearing, but you're not listening, sir. So he's saying that if he doesn't sign it, you're threatening to take him to jail.
No, I'm
correct?
not. No, what
That's
I'm
what
saying,
you said,
okay,
though.
he would go to jail and be magistrated.
Okay.
Because either way, you're going to get magistrated.
Sure.
Okay,
But what's
so
the difference
either
between
way,
now and later?
it's either do it now or do it later, however you want to do it. Either you go see a judge now, you either go see a judge now or you go see a judge later. So it's however you want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's your ID. There's your citation.
All right.
This is a courtesy card.
All right.
Stating, with all the judge's information on it. Like I said, you have until the 23rd at 9 a.m. to contact the judge on the charges that you're being charged on.
All right. That's fine.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Slow it down and have a good day.
The officer issued a citation, and his superior told him that if the driver didn't sign it, he would be arrested. When the driver calmly asked what happens if he doesn't sign, the officer repeated the same threat, and even added that if he signs but fails to show up in court, he'll still be arrested. That's not informed consent, it's coercion. The driver signed under the threat of arrest, while the officer stood there laughing, making it clear this wasn't about justice, it was about control.